You wake up. The alarm rings. You reach for your phone before your eyes are fully open. A notification, a message, a headline, a video, another video. And before your feet even touch the floor, your brain has already traveled through dozens of emotions. Curiosity, comparison, excitement, stress, envy, distraction. The day hasn't started, yet somehow you're already tired. Not sleepy, not physically exhausted, something deeper, a kind of mental heaviness, a quiet fatigue that follows you everywhere. You feel it while sitting at your desk, you feel it while scrolling on your couch, you feel it on weekends that were supposed to help you recover. And perhaps the strangest part is this. Many people today are more comfortable than any generation before them. We have climate-controlled homes, instant entertainment, unlimited information, food delivered to our doors, machines that perform tasks our ancestors would have spent hours doing. Yet millions of people wake up every day feeling depleted. Why? What if the problem isn't that you're lazy? What if it isn't a lack of discipline? What if your brain is simply reacting to an environment it was never designed to survive? This is where the work of neuroscientist Andrew Huberman becomes fascinating, because his research suggests something uncomfortable. The modern world is constantly pulling invisible levers inside your brain, levers that affect your energy, your motivation, your attention, your sleep, your happiness. And unless you understand what's happening, you'll keep searching for solutions in all the wrong places. Today, we're going to uncover why you're always tired, what modern neuroscience reveals about the hidden causes, and how reclaiming your energy may have less to do with working harder, and more to do with understanding your own mind. Let's begin with a simple observation. Human beings have solved countless physical problems. We have conquered distance. We have conquered famine in many parts of the world. We have conquered diseases that once devastated entire civilizations. But there is one battle many people seem to be losing, the battle for their own attention. Think about how often you hear people say, "I'm exhausted. I can't focus. I have no motivation. I'm burned out." These complaints have become so common that they almost sound normal. But they aren't normal. In fact, if a person from 200 years ago suddenly appeared in our world, they would probably be astonished. They would see people surrounded by convenience, yet emotionally drained, surrounded by opportunity, yet mentally exhausted, surrounded by stimulation, yet constantly bored. This contradiction points to something important. The problem isn't simply a lack of energy. The problem is where our energy is going. Because every day, modern life is competing for one of the most valuable resources you possess, your attention. And wherever attention goes, energy follows. To understand why so many people feel drained, we need to understand dopamine. Dopamine is one of the most misunderstood chemicals in the human brain. Most people think dopamine creates pleasure, but Andrew Huberman explains that dopamine is more accurately linked to pursuit, desire, motivation, anticipation. Imagine a hunter thousands of years ago tracking an animal through the wilderness. The reward hasn't been obtained yet. The meal isn't secured, but dopamine is already active. Why? Because dopamine pushes the hunter forward. It says, keep going, keep searching, keep moving. Dopamine evolved to help human beings pursue meaningful rewards. The problem is that modern technology has learned how to trigger this system continuously. Every notification, every new video, every social media like, every breaking headline, every swipe, every refresh, each one creates a small burst of anticipation. And anticipation is addictive, not because it feels good, but because it promises something good. This is why people often spend hours scrolling without actually enjoying themselves. They're chasing the possibility of the next rewarding thing, the next interesting thing, the next exciting thing. And here's where things become dangerous. The brain constantly adjusts to stimulation. The more dopamine spikes you experience, the more those spikes become normal. Soon, ordinary life starts feeling less interesting. Reading becomes harder. Working becomes harder. Studying becomes harder. Even conversations can begin to feel less engaging. Not because these activities lost value, but because your brain's reward system has been recalibrated. It's like turning up the volume so high that normal sounds become impossible to hear. Now imagine carrying a dopamine machine in your pocket. That's essentially what a smartphone has become. Every app is competing for your attention. Every platform is competing for your time. Entire teams of engineers study human behavior to maximize engagement. They understand something many users do not. The human brain is highly vulnerable to unpredictable rewards. Consider a slot machine. If the machine paid out every single time, it would eventually become boring. But if rewards appear randomly, people become obsessed. They keep pulling the lever again and again and again. Social media operates on the same principle. Maybe the next post will be interesting. Maybe the next message will be important. Maybe the next video will change your life. Your brain learns to crave uncertainty, and uncertainty keeps you checking. The result is subtle but profound. Your attention becomes fragmented. Instead of focusing deeply on one thing, your mind jumps constantly between tasks, a message, a notification, an email, a video, a thought, another notification. By the end of the day, you've spent enormous amounts of mental energy switching contexts, and context switching is exhausting. Not because you're working harder, because your brain never gets the chance to settle. Imagine standing in a crowded room where hundreds of people are talking simultaneously. Eventually, your brain becomes overwhelmed. Now imagine that room follows you everywhere. Into your bedroom, into your workplace, into your car, into your moments of rest. That is essentially what modern life has become. For most of human history, periods of silence were unavoidable. There were moments when people had no choice but to sit with their thoughts, walking, waiting, working, watching the horizon. Today, silence has become rare. Every spare second can be filled. Music, videos, podcasts, messages, news, entertainment. And while these tools can be valuable, something important is lost when stimulation becomes constant. The brain never gets an opportunity to recover. Mental recovery requires space, reflection, stillness, moments without input. Without those moments, fatigue accumulates. Not physical fatigue, cognitive fatigue. The kind that makes everything feel heavier than it should. Many people respond to exhaustion by trying to sleep more. And sleep absolutely matters. It is one of the most important biological processes in existence. But sleep cannot compensate for everything. Imagine charging your phone overnight. Now imagine leaving dozens of energy-hungry applications running all day. The battery will still drain rapidly. The same thing happens with your nervous system. You can sleep 8 hours, yet still feel exhausted. Because your brain isn't just tired from lack of rest. It's tired from overload. Too much information, too many decisions, too much comparison, too much stimulation, too much attention fragmentation. Modern exhaustion is often less about sleep deprivation and more about recovery deprivation. The nervous system isn't being given enough opportunities to reset. One of Andrew Huberman's most famous recommendations sounds almost absurdly simple. Get sunlight into your eyes early in the day. Not through a window, not through a phone screen. Real sunlight. Why does this matter? Because your brain runs on biological clocks. These clocks regulate alertness, hormones, mood, energy, sleep quality, focus. Sunlight acts like a signal. It tells your brain the day has begun. Time to synchronize the system. Yet millions of people start their mornings in a completely different way. The first light they see is artificial. The first thing they consume is information. The first emotion they experience is often stress, and the nervous system begins the day reactive rather than intentional. Small habits create powerful consequences. One day doesn't matter much, but thousands of mornings do. And over time, those tiny decisions shape the quality of your energy. Here's an idea that sounds almost radical today. Boredom might be exactly what your brain needs. Most people treat boredom as an enemy. The moment it appears, they reach for stimulation. But boredom serves an important purpose. It allows dopamine systems to reset. It allows creativity to emerge. It allows thoughts to organize themselves. Some of humanity's greatest ideas were born during moments of quiet reflection, not during endless scrolling, not during constant stimulation. Silence creates space, and space allows insight. When your brain is continuously entertained, it loses its sensitivity. Ordinary experiences become less rewarding. But when you occasionally embrace boredom, something remarkable happens. The world becomes interesting again. Simple pleasures regain their power. Motivation begins to return naturally, without hacks, without supplements, without endless productivity systems. What's fascinating is that modern neuroscience often echoes ancient wisdom. The Stoic philosophers had no MRI machines, no neuroscience laboratories, no brain scans, yet they recognized something profound. The quality of your life depends largely on the quality of your attention. Marcus Aurelius warned against becoming distracted by trivialities. Epictetus emphasized control over impulse. Seneca wrote about guarding one's mind against unnecessary disturbances. Different language, different era, same problem. Today, our distractions have become digital, but the underlying challenge remains unchanged. Can you direct your attention? Or is your attention being directed by someone else? The answer may determine whether you feel energized or exhausted, focused or fragmented, alive or merely occupied. The truth is surprisingly simple. Your brain was designed for a world that no longer exists. A world with less noise, less stimulation, less information, less comparison. Modern technology is not inherently bad, but it is powerful, and power without awareness becomes control. Every day, countless systems compete for your focus. If you don't consciously decide where your attention goes, someone else will decide for you. And over time, that constant battle drains your energy. Not all at once, slowly, quietly, until exhaustion begins to feel normal. So if you've been feeling tired lately, maybe stop asking one question: what's wrong with me? And start asking a different one: what is constantly demanding my attention? Because the answer may reveal more than you expect. You don't necessarily need another productivity hack, another motivational quote, another cup of coffee. You may need fewer distractions, more sunlight, more stillness, more focus, more intentional living. Andrew Huberman's work reminds us that energy isn't something we magically find. It's something we protect. And perhaps that's the real lesson. The modern world will always compete for your attention, but your attention is your life. Every moment you give away is a moment you never get back. The Stoics understood it. Modern neuroscience confirms it, and the choice remains the same. Will you continue feeding the systems that exhaust you, or will you begin reclaiming the energy that has been yours all along? If this video resonated with you, subscribe to Timeless Mindset, where ancient wisdom meets modern science to help you think clearly, live intentionally, and build a stronger mind in a distracted world. And remember, your brain isn't broken. It may simply be asking for something modern life rarely provides: a chance to breathe,